and we just supposed to know that there were these inquisitors.
Hello?
And so forth.
Hello,
If
hello?
you have time to see a movie, just occurs to me, which is all about burning of a witch, and a brilliant, important movie that people don't see much anymore, an old black and white movie by a famous Danish director, Dreyer. Look for a movie called Day of Wrath, and you sort of get, because you get this whole trial scene where the inquisitors determine that she's a witch, and then this whole celebration in which they burn her. So now, back to this. Because the question is, what are we trying to find? Well, what are the two poles of this antinomy that needs to be fixed at a higher level? And so one of them is the Roman Catholic Church. So what's the other one? I've sort of said it several times. Maybe you just think it's too foolish to say it's so obvious. What's the view of Christianity that is basically the opponent, so to speak, of the Roman Catholic view? The Protestant. Who said that? Somewhere. Okay, yes, the Protestant, of course. And a very Kierkegaardian form of Protestantism. And that all goes back to Luther, who, somewhere in the 1500s, stood up, risked his life, and stood up against the church and said, no, you've got it all wrong, and managed to survive and to say it, and write down lots of stuff, which is not all that interesting. I'm sorry to say, at least if it is, I didn't understand it. It's interesting. But Kierkegaard, who was a Lutheran, really admired Luther, but who's a very sharp philosopher, who doesn't admire Luther's philosophy. He says we should pay attention to not what Luther said. That's his arguments. Mostly made up of tissue of quotations from the Bible. We should pay attention to what he did. And what did he do? Well, he famously nailed up a bunch of theses on the door of the cathedral, where he said that all of them saying that the Roman Catholic interpretation of Christianity is wrong.
I need to
And
change my
then
stream title.
he said, and people sort of said, how can you do that? And he said, here I stand, famously, here I stand, I can do no other. You recognize that's the grandfather of the unconditional commitment. It's no coincidence that Luther is the one who starts this unconditional commitment business that Kierkegaard, loyal Lutheran, has spelled out for his whole life. So that's the other one. That's the view that the Grand Inquisitor, quite rightly, brilliantly, given that it's Dostoevsky making it up, he hasn't read any Kierkegaard. He just knows the Protestant position. I'm surprised he even knows that, because it's just barely been formulated. But he knows it enough to invent his Jesus story. So, and it goes by very fast. It's much really fast. I just realized as I picked it up, I want to go back once more and rant about the critics of this guy Rosen. What's striking in all of the stuff from the critics is that they all agree. It's amazing unanimity. According to all critics, Rosen says, that this was a one-sided debate. Victory won clearly by the Grand Inquisitor. What's amazing is that they all agree that nobody's on the side of Jesus, and certainly nobody's on the side of Sasso, and they don't see the readers, these critics who are supposed to be paying attention, didn't see it. But now back to where I was. So we've got the quick reference in 224 to the terrible years and just then there appeared in the north of Germany, then somewhere in 1500
Hello.
something, there appeared in the north of Germany a terrible new heresy. And that, that's Luther. And the heresy is the Protestant view, worked out by the Protestant theologians. And then, what is the third alternative? this discussion, there's only two big interpretations of the New Testament. What could be the third one, which would be spread all over the whole? Well, the answer is it's the Russian Orthodox Church. We just don't pay attention to that. We don't know it. It's not our particular version of Christianity, but it's the one that Dostoevsky holds, and Father Zosima exemplifies it in the best possible form. He and Zosima's brother, named Marco, who we haven't got to yet. George, you can say something. Yeah.
I just noticed the piano's not working. The on-screen one.